Bernard Baseball here. Welcome to another edition of T2-O-Tuesdays.
Yeah, let's go!
We were very, very busy playing baseball all the time and just couldn't quite keep up with filming T2-O-Tuesdays, but we're back now. We're back in a very, very, very big way. So Josh here just had a birthday. His birthday party was yesterday. He turned 11 years old, and he got a bunch of cash for his birthday. And he decided he was going to buy an old baseball card with that cash, the biggest and baddest card he could find with all of his money. And he went on eBay and he had picked out, he was leaning heavily towards, I guess it was a 1933 Gaudi Tris speaker. So that's what he was going with, but I said, you know what, Josh, why don't we look on my Facebook group with old baseball cards? There's a lot of guys on there selling cards, and maybe they can give you a better deal. I'm pretty sure they can, and I was right. You know, a guy on there who actually lives near us happened to have a really, really awesome card, and it was a no-brainer. He really hooked us up with this card, man. The price was just amazing. We were really, really able to stretch Josh's birthday money into an awesome card. So you ready to go ahead and see what Josh got? Josh knows what it is. He approved the purchase because it was his money, but he hasn't seen it yet. Josh was at school today, and I went and met the guy and gave him your money, Josh, for the card.
Oh, Ty Cobb.
This is an original 1921 Ty Cobb strip card. So these were made in 1921. They're actually printed in a strip of 10. So there's 10 different baseball players in the set. And they'd print them in a big strip, and then you'd hand cut or rip them along the dotted line. So it's very rare to find an actual...
I think they cut it right here because I can see a little bit of a dotted line.
So you can see that dotted line there on the left. That's where you were supposed to cut the card, I guess, or people would tear them. There are full uncut strips of all 10 players in existence. They're pretty rare, though. I think they would give them out in stores, and they'd probably cut them or rip them when they gave them to customers, so there's not many uncut strips around. Noah, there is a Babe Ruth in this set.
Ooh.
There's also a Tris speaker amongst the 10 players. So and Babe Ruth and Ty Cobb are actually right next to each other in the strip. So it's possible to even get a Cobb and a Ruth together on the same card if someone didn't cut it right there.
I actually have another one of these strip cards. It's from 1926. It's Grover Alexander.
You also got that yesterday at your birthday party. I got Josh a Grover Alexander strip card for his birthday and gave it to him yesterday at the party. And it turns out he was able to get enough money and buy another one of the Ty Cobb. So now you have two strip cards. When you look at this card in person, it looks even better than it probably does on the camera. The colors look so sharp and nice. It's just... It's a great card to have, an original Ty Cobb card.
The strip cards usually get graded as authentic because they can't really know if somebody trimmed them because they're hand cut.
Yeah, exactly. So this is graded, like Josh was saying, it's graded A for authentic. So it's not assigned a number value. They're just saying this is an original authentic card, but they're not going to try to give it a number because a lot of the numerical grade would normally be affected by the centering of the card or how sharp the corners are, and somebody could just take scissors and cut this down to make it look sharper or more centered, but you were supposed to cut them. So some of our viewers might not exactly know who Ty Cobb is or why we're so excited about this card and why it was such a huge pickup for Josh. Josh, this is definitely the best card you own at this point, right? So we'll give you a little bit of history on Ty Cobb and why Josh picked him here. Basically, he may have been the greatest baseball player of all time, period. The Hall of Fame manager Casey Stengel said about him, he said, "I never saw anyone like Ty Cobb. No one even close to him. He was the greatest all-time ball player. The guy was superhuman, amazing." And when they had the very first ever Hall of Fame class, in 1936 is when they started the Hall of Fame, and they put 5 guys in. And it was Ty Cobb, Babe Ruth, Honus Wagner, Walter Johnson, and Christy Mathewson. And Ty Cobb received the most votes of anybody. So that just tells you how good he was right there. He outvoted Babe Ruth and those guys on the first ever ballot for the Hall of Fame. He was primarily an outfielder, and he was known most for his aggressive base running style and his ability to hit the ball to all fields. And more so than that, he was known as a fierce competitor with like a burning desire to win. He said he got that from his father, who was very demanding and would accept nothing but success from him. He became fascinated with baseball as a child and decided he wanted to play professionally one day. So as a teenager, he decided to leave his family's farm in rural Georgia and set out to make his dream into a reality. His dad was against the idea, but told him, if you're going to do this, don't come home a failure. So he left home and he tried out for the Anniston Steelers of the semi-pro Tennessee-Alabama League when he was a teenager. He made the team, and then he was hoping to gain a name for himself and get noticed by a major league team. So what he did was he wrote a bunch of postcards about how good this Ty Cobb player was under different names and sent them in to the big newspaper in Atlanta as if they were coming from a bunch of fans. And eventually it worked. Eventually the sports writer there published something, a little line on Ty Cobb as being apparently a really great ball player. And he ended up getting his contract, got bought by the Detroit Tigers in 1905 in the major leagues. So he then ended up spending the next 22 seasons with the Detroit Tigers, and then he also played the final 2 seasons of his career with the Philadelphia A's. During his career, he set 90 MLB records.
Wow.
And he held 43 batting records when he retired.
Wow.
He won 12 American League batting titles, including 9 of them in a row from 1907 to 1915.
Wow.
He hit .320 or better for 22 years in a row. He also hit over 400 3 times. And he still holds the highest career batting average of anybody ever at .367. He had 4,191 career hits. That stood as the all-time record for over 50 years until Pete Rose broke it in 1985.
2-1 pitch from Shaw into left center. There it is. Rose has eclipsed Cobb. That's number 4,192.
So since Pete Rose is the one who finally broke Ty Cobb's hitting record, we have something for you guys. Something for each of you guys.
Is it Pete Rose?
Josh, give one to Noah.
Oh, it's a Pete Rose auto.
Yeah.
It's a Pete Rose autograph.
Look on the back. It's got his cards.
Let me see the front. It's an awesome special Pete Rose card that he personally hand-signed. And then on the back, they have pictures of Pete Rose's Topps cards on the back. This is a custom piece. They only made a certain number of these, and Pete Rose hand-signed all of them. Noah got the same one. No, you're an old-school Phillies fan. You like the Phillies players of the 80s. You're a Pete Rose fan along with Mike Schmidt, so that's a really cool card for you to add to your collection. You know, guys, we could go on and on about Ty Cobb. I mean, just giving you a couple of his stats doesn't scratch the surface, but that would take forever. But just, he was one of the greatest baseball players ever. And if we get more Ty Cobb cards, maybe we'll go into some stories on him, because there's a ton of stories on him. But one thing I think is important about Ty Cobb is he wasn't just known for what he did on the baseball field. He was a spokesman for Coca-Cola when he was playing, and he invested in the company early. And he also invested early in General Motors, so he did very well for himself and got pretty rich, had a ton of money. And he took a lot of that money and he gave it back, basically. He built a hospital in his hometown in Georgia. He set up a big scholarship fund so poor kids from Georgia could go to college. So he did a lot, even more off the baseball field than he did on the baseball field, which is a really great thing about Ty Cobb. So thank you guys for watching another edition of T2-O-Tuesday. There's definitely going to be more of these coming out. Maybe someday, Noah, you'll get a Babe Ruth strip card. If Josh gets some Christmas money, I'm sure Josh is going to be buying another expensive old card here. So definitely keep watching. There's going to be more T2-O-Tuesday videos coming out soon.
Please stay on field, subscribe to our channel, and turn on the notification bell. But not baseball.